That Dude Sneed.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, I'm blessed, brother.
Come
How
on,
you doing,
man?
man?
Doing good, bro. Can't complain, man. Blessed.
Hey, I like the sound of that, man.
Come on, you know it. You know it, bro. Let's talk to him, Sneed. Let's talk to him.
We gonna talk about it, man. Let's get it.
Let's talk to him, man. You living or you surviving?
Hey, man. I'm at a point where I realize I've been doing both.
Real. Explain.
You know, when you define living is the pursuit of a lifestyle.
Real.
You know, I'm just not only pursuing music. This whole thing is a lifestyle for me.
Real.
You know, I want to be able to take care of my family.
That's
I want to be able to take care of, my lady. I want to be able to take care of just everything. This isn't just for the moment.
Real.
I want to make it a lifestyle.
Real.
And along with that, that's when the survival kicks in. Because I have to go out, and we all know in this industry, when you're trying to pursue it, everything's going to get tested.
That's a fact.
You're going to get your morals tested.
Wow.
And I have to fight every day, not in like no bad way or anything.
Right.
I just have to make sure in my journey of pursuing the lifestyle I'm trying to live that I stay tact. Because when surviving
Right.
is through the struggle or to still exist.
Real.
Or stay intact.
That's right.
Within the difficulties.
Real.
So with all of that, I'm not going to let my just because I'm feeling bad, just get me down.
Real.
I have an experience, I have a story I got to tell too, and I think it would be disrespectful to just say that I'm not living. Yeah.
Real. Respect, bro. Respect.
Welcome to the Integrity Response with your brother CEO Khacki. Every individual sitting across from me doesn't believe in being typical, ordinary, or familiar. They're elite, meaning society's norms don't sit well with them. They believe in raising the bar for themselves, family, and for those they may never meet. From those in humble beginnings to those in the midst of greatness and legends who've paved the way. With a comedic edge, I will ask the questions that hold value, and I believe we'll gain insight to the real them. It's the Integrity Response.
Before entrepreneurship, before engineering, before producing, before songwriting, at age 9, what did you want to be?
You know what? Have my mom tell it. She said I want to be a garbage man.
Gotcha.
Shout out to moms. But
that's real.
But if you really let me tell it, like, music has always followed me.
Gotcha.
I've always got in trouble for school from like, all right, hey, even before I knew music producing or engineering or anything, I just knew, hey, this is something special.
Real.
And I just wanted to be able to share it with the world in some way before I even knew. It's just like, hey, music, this little melody I have in my head.
Real.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
were you the kid in school who used to beat on the desk and things like that?
Designated,
right.
when you get good.
Same here. That's right.
Raw with
That's real.
with the pencil, pencil and
That's real, bro. That's real.
So,
let's take it back, man. Like myself, you're a military brat.
Yes.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Yes, sir. Not many people. So you understand.
On, bro. I know. Let's talk to where some place your parents were stationed.
Oh man. Alrighty. So of course Norfolk, Virginia, which that is my birthplace.
Gotcha, for sure. That's right.
I've stayed in Seattle.
Gotcha.
Spokane, Washington to be exact. I stayed in Philadelphia.
Gotcha.
I've stayed in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Wow. Every coast. Good
Greenville,
gracious.
Texas.
Wow,
Orange Park, Florida.
Wow.
Man, it's kind of been like all the way back around. It's like, all right, move here for a little bit. Move.
Right. That's
go,
right. That's
go
right.
over there
Some
just a little
2,
bit.
Some 4.
Move. Some 3, some 2, some 4, and everything.
Wow.
I never really got the opportunity to go out of the country though.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure.
Y'all are blessed.
Yeah.
But no, I was born in Germany, but I left shortly after. But that's real.
That's dope.
Gotcha.
That's dope.
And your parents are Army or Air Force?
My dad's Navy.
Gotcha.
Navy.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Navy. No, we don't get no. I'm Coast Guard. I was Coast Guard. So,
Hey,
that's
thank
real.
You, thank you for your
Man,
service.
I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, while we on that, did your father, even though I know the story, did he lean towards you wanting to go in the military as well? Or like, son, this is
Shout out to my dad, man. He kind of knew, like he was a recruiter at some point.
Gotcha.
He was definitely a recruiter.
Gotcha.
So when I knew, man, kind of break it down. When it came time for graduation,
right,
and I realized I wasn't going to college.
Gotcha.
Or at least I thought
so.
I wasn't going to college because, you know, scholarships for all your classmates and everything starts getting passed around, and you like, oh wow, I really didn't think this far.
Gotcha.
So I ended up being in a for high school. I ended up being in a small town, beautiful town, Greenville, Texas.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to pursue music, but I didn't see it being idealistically during the time.
Gotcha.
So when I just, you know, when I was like, I came to him, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go to the Navy. He was kind of hesitant. He sat me down like a regular recruiter,
right?
Because he was a
no bias,
recruiter,
just really.
And he asked me what I wanted from it, and the only thing I could say is money.
Wow. And
he looked at me, and I always remember he just, well, hey, don't you want to do music? And I was just like, yeah, but he's like, well, why don't you just try to see what that can turn into?
Real.
And then if all fails, then you can go to the military.
Man, that's awesome that he gave you that.
Man,
honest.
I look back.
Look back, bro. Like, go ahead.
Now you can't get me. Like, I shout out. Like, that's why I salute because I know the military is a hard thing. Not everybody. And now I'm at the point where I realize, you know what, that was not for me.
Real.
You know, so I'm always thankful, and I understand how blessed I was.
Real, bro.
You know, so. And
I'm jumping ahead, but Pops led you to Full Sail in Orlando.
Well, he drove me there. My sister, my sister randomly signed me up.
Wow. That's back then when brochures and certain things like would come on the TV or
they would come. Oh my gosh,
Full Sail was and is the epitome of. Man, bro, like
it's like the Harvard,
bro.
It's like not everybody could get there.
That's a fact, bro. That's right.
Everybody couldn't get there, so I'm just like, wow. So when she signed me up for it, at first I thought it was a boat school.
Got it right. I love it. He said, Dad, you got me to the Navy.
I'm like, boat school.
Right. I didn't want to go to the Navy.
But she signed me up, and I just remember like a few days after she signed me up, she told me about it. I'm just like, all right, okay, cool. Didn't think nothing about it. And they called me for a phone interview, and from there, I fell in love because no schools was calling me for a college. So I'm like, hey, I got an opportunity for college.
For real.
I'm like, no SATs? I didn't take my SATs. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't take my SATs. And so it was just more like, oh, okay. Oh, hey, I got colleges looking at.
Bro, come on. And how did that work? How did that actually, did you have to go down? Because it was engineering. Production. What's the actual title of your degree?
Okay, so I got Bachelor's of Science Recording Arts.
Come on, man. That's dope.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yes,
That's dope. Yes, sir.
Like I got there, and you know what? It wasn't until 4 months in I realized what my degree actually was, because when I went into there, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to be a music producer.
Right.
I have no knowledge of what to do.
Right.
I don't know Pro Tools. I don't know Logic. I don't know. I just had this idea in my head.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking like, oh, they're going to teach me how to make beats.
Right.
4 months in, I'm just like, oh, they're teaching us how to, like, they're really teaching us this ain't engineering, like technical, like it's
music theory, like it's real.
It's a survival. It's man, it's it's very tense, but I mean, it just really shows how much you really want.
If you want something,
if you want to be there, and there's not. I think for my class, I think 400 started.
Wow,
and only 44 graduated.
10%
of my degree. I mean, there was other
different
like the other degree, but I think of my actual degree, or like people in my class, only 44.
Why do you think that is? Like, you think real life?
Real life. I can't even put that on a lot of people, because there's a lot of people who they're still successful
real
even without finishing.
Gotcha.
I just so happen, I was blessed enough to to have the willpower and even have the enough resources to have the help to help me get through.
That's right.
So
that's right.
it's very tough. You see when they say real life experience, you're gonna go through it. Yeah, wow. We was actually right there. Still, like people are on there. I mean, during the time, I don't know if anything's changed, but like people while going to school were still paying rent for their college. Right. So you gotta work.
Wow, bro.
You gotta do all that. So yeah, that's just the real.
What was that like? Take us through that journey. You know, going from Virginia to an unknown territory in Orlando by yourself. What did that feel like? You know, like for every college student, but you're going, you know, almost 1,000 miles away. Like, how does that feel? Taking on a new life, knowing that you're being backed by your family. You know what I'm saying? Like on some, like I'm about to go do this. How does that feel?
Man, well, I was in Texas during that time.
Gotcha.
I was in Texas.
You was in Texas. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was in Greenville, Texas.
Even further, right?
Yeah. So from there, it was. I was more excited. It was scary because I didn't really know what I was doing and everything, but it was more of hey, I'm gonna make this happen.
Real.
And I had them to back me and just like, hey, that's a 14-hour drive.
Right.
From Texas that my dad packed the stuff up, dropped me off, and it was exciting. Like when you get there, you meet so many like-minded people.
Right.
For once I start to feel normal.
Real.
I'm like, oh, people hear beats in their head too.
Gotcha. Wow.
Like, and the sounds and even how I express sounds wasn't so, it wasn't abnormal anymore. It was just like, oh, you know, I'd be like, hey, you know that hill, and they're like, yeah, I know that. I'm like, oh, we speak the same language, you know? So
real.
Yeah.
Let's take them back further. You did mention this is your older sister who helps you. Younger. Shout out to younger. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out, Nikki.
How many siblings?
I have. I'm the middle child.
Gotcha.
I have a younger sister.
Right.
And I have an older brother.
Gotcha.
Yes. Sir.
And are they still in Texas?
My brother is in Portland, Oregon.
Gotcha.
And my sister, she is in Texas.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So you did mention your dad was stationed in Washington.
Norfolk.
No, it was somewhere on the West Coast.
Oh, Seattle.
Seattle.
Well, you know what? I come from a military house, so my aunt. When you already know when they start to move around,
right?
We went to go stay with my aunt
and
my uncle. He was in the Air Force.
Gotcha. I'm trying to understand how your brother ended up in Portland, Oregon.
Oh man, hey,
I thought it was some linkage between Seattle and that's what I thought it was.
Oh man, his baby moms.
Gotcha.
His baby moms is over there. So you know they have a they family.
That's
I have, you know, man. It's going on.
Nieces, right?
I'm about to say, I can't. Don't get me in trouble. I got to make sure everything right. It's like Nova, Lola, Maverick, Titan.
That's what's up.
And O'Shea. All right, so 5 all together.
Shout out to the whole family. Hey, that's dope. That's dope, bro. For sure.
Shout out, love you, bro.
Gotcha.
I love y'all.
That's real. So, you know, older brother, younger sister, middle child.
Yes, sir.
What type of kid were you?
I was I'm a quiet. I was very quiet. I mean, of course, I've had my, you know, I wasn't a troublemaker. Gotcha. I would just say that, you know, don't get me wrong.
Right.
You know, I gotta say,
real.
You gotta learn how, you know. But I was very shy.
Gotcha.
I was just to myself. I'm very observant.
Gotcha.
And so
I was by nature.
Yeah.
Moving from city to city to city, you kind of, you know,
yeah.
You know, ducked off, looking, observing, making sure. All right, seeing.
You have to.
It also creates this thing in you that you're easily likable, and easily, you know, you're easily of a friend.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, at least I tried.
Real,
you know,
that's real.
Because that's what I mean. When you move from state to state,
right.
That's one thing you'll start to learn is how to make friends.
Real.
Because like, hey, what's your name? Where are you from?
That's
and
right.
You start to realize like people have their stories. Like
that's
you said,
so
people have.
So true. That's right.
Everybody
that's
has
right.
a story. So I'm
true.
just like, hey, what's that like? You know, even if it's a place, me personally, I am very intrigued by people's like life.
Me too.
You know, everybody has a story. So I'm just like, oh, so somebody might say like, hey, I'm from I don't know I don't know. They probably might say Arizona. Right. I haven't really met many people from Arizona,
Likewise.
So I'm just like, hey, what's that like?
Right.
What's that like? Where it's from? Where you do there? And I know some people may be like, hey, what's wrong with this guy? But
gotcha.
That's
that's real. Because like even us growing up on a military basis,
yeah,
majority of our friends are from different places.
Exactly.
So yeah, we already are intrigued by like, oh man, where's that at again?
Yeah,
you know, like it's often smaller towns. That's real. That's real.
You just gotta, people are afraid to ask, but you start to realize people want to tell you where they're from and show you whether it's their culture or where they grew up.
That's so true. So true. What about sports, man? You play any sports or anything growing up?
You know what? I was always fascinated with football, and I did get into football when I got to Texas.
Gotcha.
Them boys.
You almost had to.
Man, shout out to them boys. Them boys
so different.
From Pee Wee, man. They've been playing since Pee Wee, and I got there my junior year.
Gotcha.
Well, I got into it not my junior, my sophomore year.
Gotcha. 10th grade. Gotcha.
2 days. It was the best experience for me.
Wow.
And mentally.
Real.
Like when they have something called Hell Week. The
Gotcha.
2 days, Hell Week. That's when they go so far, like put you through the gridiron, and the ones who's not supposed to be there, they'll fall off.
By the wayside.
Hey, you ain't supposed. And I'm glad I got through it, but I wish I would have been able to play sports earlier, because it would have. I probably would have had a better chance at my dream of a football player.
Gotcha. Okay. And what position would that have been?
At first, I would. They assigned me running back.
Gotcha. That's what
like I said. I wasn't too savvy on it, so they put me at a position called Z-back, and in their second position, they had me as a middle linebacker.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you could hit. I was about to say, so you could hit.
I had heart.
I had heart. Real.
I had heart.
Real.
I had
That's
like
real. That's what's up.
Like,
Definitely.
Hey, don't confuse you, man. I was short, but I was just like, hey, let's go. It's more time,
That's real.
But I wish I would have had more of the competitive nature.
Gotcha.
Or understood it during the time to like take it to the next level.
Gotcha. And what about your older brother? Did he play?
My brother was basketball.
Gotcha.
Which I think why I leaned more towards football, because my brother was really, really cold at basketball.
Wow.
Like,
gotcha.
To the point where he made me. I'm like, I ain't trying to live in those. I ain't trying to be in your shadow.
No, you got
so
it.
yeah, you got it, bro. You good.
That's real. For sure. Let's take it back for your supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Fill in the blank. In high school, I was known as the kid that.
Oh wow. Sheesh. In high school, I was known as the kid that did music.
Real.
I would say that, like, if they didn't know, because I had a DJ set.
Gotcha.
And even if they didn't see me do anything or hear, they knew I was affiliated with some type of music. They knew that was my dream and a desire.
Real.
Yeah, that was
actual.
Good.
No, for real.
That was good.
Yeah, that's real, bro. Real.
Yeah.
So from there, your only objective was to make you feel good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Dang.
That's so you knew early on you was into the music.
Sneak.
Come on. Let's go.
Dang.
Real,
for y'all don't know.
Go ahead. Talk to him.
As I mentioned before, I was a DJ. Or at least attempted to be a DJ.
Real.
And my first DJ name was DJ Make You Feel Good.
Let's go. Real, bro. Real.
During the time, I thought it was the coolest thing, man. I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
That's real.
I'm like, man, this ain't it.
Gotcha. And were you doing real live? Like you was really scratching?
Yeah,
really
it wasn't like it was like CD-ROMs.
Gotcha.
So I had
That's
the Statins. And the way even like shout out to my parents again. Like they gave me like from boom. It was like Christmas, birthday,
real.
Christmas.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Boom, I had got like they didn't even think I was really serious about any type of music. They was like, hey, I need to know why you ain't wasting my money.
Real. But you looking back on it now, your parents, they was planting those seeds early.
Man, they believed in me enough to
come
like
on,
and
man.
not enough not a lot of parents, are I can't say they even if they don't believe, like even if they didn't believe, they still took that little bit and they still went through with it.
Real.
And I appreciate that because I could have just been like, all right, whatever,
right.
And just like, all right, cool, let's on to the next,
Real.
But they help, like you said, they help plant that seed, and and help what it is now today.
Real, bro.
So yeah.
Real. Sneed, do you and did you always feel like you was born for music entertainment?
I did. I felt like music and entertainment. I always felt like I had something important to do.
Real.
A sense of purpose,
Right.
some sense of like, I can't put my finger on it. I can't. It's just something like, hey, why else would I be doing this as long as I've been doing it? Or it's something there. It's just like,
Bro,
I can't
go
stop.
ahead, go
I
ahead.
can't stop now. I have to go about, and there's a lot of people, like, I'm pretty sure like you can relate there.
Right.
All the way up to now, there's a lot of people who try to do what you're doing,
Right.
but just like, nah, I'm gonna fall back, or they're not longer doing it. But
Gotcha.
those same people are still looking at you and they're rooting for you.
Real,
And that
bro.
lets me know it's bigger.
Then
It's bigger than this
right,
just me.
bro.
It's just like, man, like, as I'm moving in this trench, I'm hoping that I'm just doing my
Bro,
best
that's right.
to just do right by people.
That's right, bro. Absolutely.
But at the same time, you just like, man, I'm making a difference in people's life, even when
That's
I
right,
don't
bro.
think I'm
That's-
making a.
Bro, go ahead.
So it's, it's.
It's-
Man,
go
I
ahead.
have a
No,
purpose, man.
that's
I have a purpose.
purpose-driven.
It's
That's
something-
real.
I have something
Even
important, man.
As every creative has, who second guessed it, who thought, man, maybe, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
all right, let me go to school for something else, or let me go find, you can't get away from who you are.
Can't quit if trust me, I tried, and it's just
We all
like,
have, bro. We have.
You can't quit.
Wow.
You can't quit. I can't speak. Like it lets you know it's way. I know it's cliche to say, but it's way deeper than it. You're
Right.
inspiring somebody right now. Somebody's
Absolutely.
going to be watching you, and they're like, "Man, he did it!" Like, bro, you're inspiring me, and I'm seeing like
Wow.
a couple months. I'm like, man, he got,
Bro, but
he got the whole
But
switch
Sneed,
up,
no,
man.
but no, you inspire me.
Oh, man,
That's what
I
I'm saying,
appreciate
bro. Like you're unapologetically living out your dreams.
Man,
Everybody
Man.
can't do that. That takes a lot of guts, a lot of wherewithal, a lot of like being selfish and selfless at the
Man.
same time. Bro, like it's no better way. My mom told me a long time ago, man, if you do what you love in life, man, you'll never have to work again.
Man.
And that's like it's not work.
That-
Bro, that's real.
Drop those gems
Come on,
early right there.
Early, bro, for
Early.
real, man. So let's talk about this transition to the greatest city in the world, Atlanta.
Already.
But no,
Already,
bro,
you
what
already
caused
know.
that transition, bro? Like, where and when and why did you know? And I believe, was this leaving Full Sail, or did you come back to Texas first and then?
No, it was you know what, how it even transpired, like during the time I was interning still in
Gotcha.
Orlando.
Okay, gotcha.
I was still interning, and my homeboy, he said, hey, because he was an actor, he's like, hey, we're going to Atlanta to be an extra in
Wow.
Mockingjay. It was Hunger Games Mockingjay.
Classic.
And I'm just like,
Wow.
oh, I read that book. He said, hey, y'all want to go? I'm like, sure, why not?
Why not?
And
Right.
when I got there, I instantly fell in love.
Wow.
I got lost.
Real.
I got lost in there. Like, phone was dying. I'm just like, man, I'm everywhere. But I
Wow.
fell in love with the just Southern hospitality.
Right, right.
I fell in love with just the energy.
Real.
Just the energy here. Like, you could tell everybody, like, so much black excellence.
Come on,
I'm just
bro.
like,
Come on.
And shout out to my career advisor. She kept saying, like, hey, you might want to go to Atlanta. I'm just like, nah, whatever.
She was even saying that,
Yeah.
like, wow.
It was like little signs in my, like, I'm just like, where should I go? I don't get me wrong, I loved Orlando.
Gotcha.
Orlando is a beautiful, like,
Right,
it's
right, for
touristy,
sure.
it's
Right,
beautiful.
right.
And I tried my best to make it work there, but as soon as I visited Atlanta, I was just like, you walking down the
Wow.
street, you see, just beautiful black people.
Real.
Like, hey, how's it going, brother? I'm just
Come
like,
on.
oh,
Whoa, what? Bro, it's real, bro.
like,
That's real.
I'm
Real.
starting to get some recognition.
Right,
around
bro.
here. What's
For
good,
real,
brother?
for real.
But I fell in
Wow.
love with it, and just like, you just see everybody moving, everybody
That's
trying
right.
to uplift each
Bro,
other.
that's so true.
Everybody just, it's a beautiful thing. So
Real.
that's what planted the seed. The seed.
Gotcha.
And when I went back, I just remember telling everybody, I'm like, yo, I'm going to Atlanta.
Just like that.
And
Just like that.
that was just that. I'm just like, everybody like, what? It just seemed random to them, but I'm just like, yeah, you know, I had roommates. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I'm going to Atlanta. I'm not renewing my
Wow,
lease.
bro.
I'm going to Atlanta. And from there, it was, a leap of faith. It was
Wow.
really a leap of faith.
Bro, that seems to be the thing with everybody.
Man.
Like that moves out of their city and just like, you know, not saying even if it's Atlanta, just like a new way, a better way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like y'all, man. You from
from Clayco, from the south side.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to say, I'm like y'all about to say you're from
Right, look,
so-
landed in Clayco, you know, as at 8 years old. Landed, you know, military brat too. But yeah,
Man.
bro, like,
Atlanta. When they say AT aliens, like
Bro.
they uplift each other. I'm just like, you know what? If you're not afraid to put the work in,
there you go.
that's the thing. People,
There you go.
so a lot of times people think you're just gonna move here and then just take off.
Black excellence.
Put the
right?
put the work in. Like everybody,
real.
everybody sees it. Like, oh boy, you know, you willing to put the work
That's
in? They'll
right.
give you the work.
They will.
They'll put you through the fire.
That's a fact.
You just got to be ready for it.
Real.
You know, and hey,
Just like
it's
that,
either
bro.
gonna make you or break you.
Just like that, bro. And you graduated Full Sail 2013.
Yep, 2013.
And you actually came to Atlanta when? When did you have your sights set on?
I went back to Virginia just to.
Right, you know,
You know,
I know, right.
I stay with my aunts, build my bread
you know,
up.
That's right. You have to. That's right.
Build
that's
my
right.
bread up. And then it was August 2015.
Gotcha.
You
So
know.
it didn't take long.
It didn't really
take long.
It
Real.
really didn't take long. I was just like, all right, bow.
Gotcha.
Like what we doing? And even at some point, I found myself being comfortable in Virginia. I'm like, man, you know, during
No,
the time,
bro, but you know yourself.
Yeah.
That's, bro, a lot of people don't. Like,
yeah,
like, bro,
man.
like, hold
Bro,
up,
it was
man.
beautiful.
Like, gotcha.
It was beautiful. I'm like, man, I'm not paying. You know,
Real,
shout
I'm
out.
just stacking.
I love you, auntie.
Real,
I love
that's
you.
real.
I'll pay you back.
Real, but you had family who was able
Yeah,
to
they
do
were.
that, which is, bro, that's even bigger part of the dream.
Man.
That's bigger part of the reason why it's like, man, okay, all these steps have been ordered. All right,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm doing what I
here.
gotta do. That's real.
I'm here, like, and from there I felt, I don't know, it was like one day I woke up and when you see yourself becoming comfortable, like, all right, what am I going to do?
Gotcha.
And I just remember packing my stuff up and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go just visit. And then in the midst of me going to visit, I found an apartment that
Wow.
that gave me the first month free.
Real.
I'm like-
All right. Gotcha.
Hey, I needed that.
No brainer. Right.
Needed that, got that, and came back, then broke the news. I know it was sudden, but I felt like it was a decision I needed
Real.
to do. A decision I needed to make.
Most people aren't familiar with The Weeknd and how he got his name. Are you?
Nah.
Yeah, The Weeknd. Left his parents' house, moved in with his friends, and just like that, moments later was in California pursuing his dreams on The Weeknd.
Wow. You know what? I didn't know that.
And that's your story just brought me right back to that. And that's how he called himself The Weeknd. I left on The Weeknd.
I did not know that. See,
Dope, bro.
crazy. Fun fact. Fun fact. Based off of him, and I think there was somebody, other producer. I wanted to be called, before it was that Dude Sneed, I wanted to be called Yesterday.
Bro, that is crazy.
I wanted to be called Yesterday because I thought it would look cool when you look at the production credits and it's like produced by Yesterday. So,
Wow.
so instead, you know, hey, guy had other plans.
That is right. Now we're on that. How did you get your stage name, Sneed?
It followed me. Like when you say, when some people say like, hey, some people get the privilege to choose their names.
Mm-hmm.
Me, it followed me. One day, my first time creating Twitter, my homeboy, I noticed all my homeboys, it was a joke. They were
Gotcha.
always, basically, I'm that guy.
Gotcha.
Oh, you're that guy.
Right,
You're that guy.
gotcha.
You know, I would do stuff like, oh, you're gonna be that
That
guy.
guy.
And I'm just like, so I would do
Gotcha.
stuff out of the
That's
ordinary.
real.
And every time they would mention me, it's like, oh, that. Before I even had it, it's like, oh man, that Dude Sneed, that dude.
Real.
And then fast forward, I come to Atlanta, and like I said, I'm doing my best.
Real.
I'm doing everything I can. Like I'm going above and beyond just to make sure, like, hey, everybody. So shout out to like Chop Diesel and Travis Cherry and you know, it's just started following me because like anytime like, oh man, Sneed's that dude.
Real.
And you know, it's like Sneed's that dude, and he's like, yeah, you know, and they would, in a sense, they would confirm it. They're like, yeah, no, he's that dude. He's that dude. And so even fast forward now, I started have you ever watched the Quincy Jones documentary on Netflix?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I started it. I didn't finish it.
I highly recommend it.
That's another one I'm gonna watch. Okay, for sure. I highly
recommend it. But I think even during process, when I ended up in the studio with Jazzy, he will always tell stories. Yeah, shout out to the bro.
Come on now, legend.
He always tell stories about like Quincy Jones, and he was like, yeah, well, you know, it's like, yeah, he's like, he's the dude. They said he's that dude. He's that dude. Like, you know, and then as I became obsessed, I started looking in. I'm like, oh, he has the dude.
Wow.
Quincy Jones. All right. And then I started looking more. And so I felt like that name was calling me. It's like, all right, hey, I can never be the dude because that's already took it. But and I started paying homage. I'm just like, hey, I want to be great. I want to be that dude. It turned out from a joke. And now I want to like, hey, I'm that dude. And I have to do everything I can to be him.
Real.
You know, so
that's him. That bro, I like that. I love that story. About 30 seconds of your time. I really appreciate your support. With every interview, my aim is to bring integrity and fun back to the culture, and I can't do it without you. If you're enjoying this episode, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. I appreciate you. Back to the interview. Bro, you mentioned also that you actually got your break with Jazzy Pha.
Yes.
You started off recording him.
Yes.
How was that, guy coming out of Full Sail, going back to Virginia, coming back down, being in the works? How did that feel? No, bro, his catalog goes on and on and on, and most people don't even know the things behind this. Ooh. It's not even just this is stuff that we don't really know.
Don't know.
He's tied into or have done for, or ooh. What was it like working with him hand in hand?
Man, all right. You want the first? My first experience. My first experience was like he was cool. He was like one thing he taught me. And this is just for me, like observing.
Real.
You have to understand how to control a room. You always have to understand the vibe is everything in the room. Like when just me seeing like. He was patient too. Gotcha. He was patient with me. I was messing up. I'm like, I'm trying to get levels down. Right, like I said, this is a big break for me.
Real.
And I'm like, oh man, he's like, hey man, let's go, but he still always kept it cool. Like, hey man, what we doing, man? Yeah, you good? You got it. We gonna get you right, man.
Busting your chops without busting your chops.
Yeah, without without. So he really he kept it. So the experience has always been really amazing because I got to sit down like, all right, what is it like? What's important here? Hey, listen to the producer. Hey, I want to produce,
right?
And I can't let my ego get in the way. Right now, I'm the engineer. I'm not the producer.
Gotcha.
I need to do my part. Right. He's the producer, so let me sit here and observe. And if I want to be in his shoes, like let me sit there and pay attention to what I need to do or why he's great at what he does.
Right.
So that was that, and there was just other experience, another experience where it's just seeing like, all right, the same thing where you just like watching, I thought what producing, what we think only producing is what it actually is.
Gotcha.
And it's just like it's being able to see the end product, from start to finish.
Real.
And you're like, all right, hey, I need this. I need that.
Right.
Hey, you come here, lay this down.
Right.
Hey, no, this line, and it was amazing. And he doesn't really know. I don't think he really realized and before I started Full Sail, I wrote a list of all the people who I wanted to work with.
That's right.
And he was first on my list.
First on the list.
He was really first on my list. And shout out to Travis, shout out to Travis Cherry, because he hey man, hey man, you want to record Jazzy? Man, I told him about you, and hey, he said you cool. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And that was just a manifestation. Like, that was the very first name I got to I got to work with Jazzy.
Let's rewind further back. Now I want to tap into who you are. Jazzy Pha was #1 on your list.
Yeah.
Why? And how did that come to that? What song or what production? Because you're a student.
Yeah.
I know you love Timberland.
Yeah.
I know you love Jazzy Pha.
Man.
I know these are some of your favorite producers.
Man.
What was it about Jazzy Pha where you're like, bro, like what song was it? What instrumentation was it? Was it Sick of Being Lonely? What was it that you was like?
You're right. You're right on the money. Well, I think for me it was before I even went to college or even knew I was, before even Full Sail. I will say I had a little depressing moment.
Gotcha.
Depressing moment in my life where I realized, like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do music. The military is only option.
Right.
And I just remember, kind of being upset with myself. Kind of like, man, I should have did a little better in high school.
Gotcha.
Because I would have had better opportunities to get out.
Gotcha.
And I always remember right then and there, I kind of after praying, I decided you know what, I'm still going to try.
Real.
Somehow, I don't know. Even before my dad gave me the advice,
gotcha,
I'm still going to try. And I remember writing a list down hey, this is, I'm going to work with T-Pain, I'm going to work with Jazzy, everything. And what did inspire was I remember on TV, I did have the TV on, and Sick of Being Lonely came on. And I, even to this day, I always loved the chops, and I was always amazed by how fully produced that song was. And I remember as I was writing, I'm when I got to list, I'm Jazzy.
Wow.
Jazzy, I say, Jazzy Pha right then. You hear the ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, he is a mastermind.
Man.
He's the definition of entertainment.
Man.
What this music entertainment is about, he is, everything is, he understands it.
Just like that. And you have to know, you just have to know it, and you see the importance of it because it's always a good time. I will say, every time I've ever been around him, I've never seen him down.
Bro.
And
that's crazy.
I've never seen him upset. Even whether he realizes or not, he's just I've never seen him around. Even when I was just sitting, just being in the corner, just sitting there observing, I've never seen him I've never seen him complain. I've never seen him. It's just always boom, hey, lights, camera, action. What's good? He'll see somebody hey, can you get a picture? He'll do so, and it's all love. So just seeing that always kind of paved the way. Hey,
real.
That's how you got to move.
Sneed now. That prepares you for everything, doesn't it?
Man, because the vibe is everything, and you don't realize these are super producers.
Real.
And they have a lot of pressure on them, and now you got hey, do you know how to move? Are you ready? Are you ready for the everybody says they're ready until it's time to,
Gotcha.
You got to be ready at all times, and just watching. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything particular.
Right.
He told just being around. I took advantage of just looking and watching.
Gotcha.
And seeing how to move. So
does he, when you're there, how do you transition to as being not a fly on the wall, you're engineering, but how do you get to him to say, hey, I produce and here, listen to this? How does that work?
For me, it was just I just let my work speak for itself.
Gotcha.
I felt like there's a time and place for everything.
Real.
Always. So I think during the time, my lady Alexis Renee. Hey,
Shout out
yeah,
Renee in the building. Definitely in the building. What's up, man? Definitely. What's up?
She was, songwriting, and we was working on our own stuff, and she played it for him.
Gotcha.
a lot of times it's easy for people, see me like, oh, the engineer, to easily,
to dismiss, not dismiss, but not downplay or dismiss, but just subtly.
I know what I'm there for. I'm like,
real.
Hey,
that's right.
I produce, I produce, but hey, right now, people need an engineer.
Gotcha.
And so that could be a little thing where I gotta like make sure like, hey, I produce as well. But during the time, I'm just like, hey, I'm here to engineer. So when she played the track, it's just like, hey, who, what they say whenever there's a song,
right?
Hey, who made the beat?
Who produced that? That's right.
Oh, and from there it turns into a conversation starter. So right. Me, I'm they say closed mouths don't get fed, but at the same time, I like to look at like, there's a time and place.
That's so true.
I just always wanted to make sure like, hey, he's going to hear it. He's going to hear what I got. One day I'm gonna be around and he's going to ask, hey, what else do you do? Real. And
it's just about being in the environment and being in the midst.
Yeah, just waiting on my time. Everybody got their time, and
so true.
That's just the way I looked at it.
And Big A Prado, shout out to Big A.
Hey, Big A,
a writer as well. He says the same thing. When I'm in the writing camps, because I asked him, I was like, bro, like you don't have nothing in the back pocket. Like, hey, bro, let's like, no. When I'm here as a writer, I'm a writer. Mm-hmm. They'll learn that soon. How I am of a recording artist soon, but that's real. I guess you got to respect the room you're in and just do it like that.
Yeah, I mean, because we all want to be the end goal of real. What. Yeah, I may be in here. I want to be a producer, but you have to understand like how to play your role.
That's right.
And what
bigger picture.
Your opportunity may not be for me,
real.
And my opportunity is always going to be for me.
Gotcha.
So and shout out to Big A. Shout out to Big A.
That's real.
Alexis Renee and Big A Prado together, the pen pals, man, real. I've learned so much stuff even just being around, just in the room with
real.
You learn a lot. Like, they are special. I say that in the most positive way. They are something special, gifted.
That's how I met you two. You guys, energies are real, bro. Like just imagine the amount of people I've met. Sneed, Alexis Renee reminded me so much of myself when I met y'all. Like, oh, these guys, I'll know them forever. Energy is real, and that's why you guys are amongst Big A, because energy is real.
Yeah.
Like,
oh man,
Big A only surrounds himself with certain energies.
A real.
Likewise, y'all too, and I know y'all do. Real, bro. That's real. So
real.
Just let y'all know, man. That type of energy, y'all energy, will get y'all in every room imaginable. I'm telling you, man. And like you said too, man, it comes with the hard work, but the energy first, bro. Like y'all are built for this, bro. And y'all are what the industry needs.
Man, I really appreciate it, man. Like, I know a lot of times it may not seem like, because it's barriers and hurdles. You got to go through it. It's just what comes with the territory.
So
and I'm always speechless when it comes to this, man.
Especially when it's
it's the humble side. It's like, man, hey, just put my head down doing the work. But hey, I also gotta make sure I lift my head up and make sure I let people know, hey, we did this.
Because now we're talking Kelly Price, Mace, Jim Jones, Jazzy Pha, and the list goes on.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, everybody don't have those credentials. How does it feel, working with these legends as well, man, and creating these masterpieces with these legends?
You know what? It's always an honor, because not many people get to say that.
Real.
And I look at all these people like incredible talent that you like, oh wow, because just you listen to them, they all come from a certain era.
Right, that's right.
Perfection.
That's right.
I know a lot of people say there's no such thing as perfection, but the way if you have to be there, you have to see it in real time.
Real.
You have to see where the magic,
gotcha.
The magic doesn't start when it ends. It's just like, man, these people are really who they say they are.
It ain't a facade.
Yeah.
It's not for the camera.
Man, it's just like you have to be that between, and you have to see what they have to do to tap into that. It's the confidence that comes with it.
Right.
You just like I said, like, hey, what comes with the game. Some songs get put out, some songs don't.
Right.
You can't. That's just the experience, though.
That's right.
That's just what comes with the game.
Real.
You know, but just seeing them and you get to experience that. Hence, that's what living is all about.
That's so true, bro. That's so true. Let me
know?
ask you this. Would you sign a production deal with a major?
If it makes sense.
Gotcha.
If it really made sense, like I know that, hey, in order for a major label to, you know, hey, be interested, hey, I got to be doing something right and everything. So it's just everything has to make sense. Would it make sense for me not to sign, or would it make sense for me to sign?
Right.
Like, I mean, I think everybody's, you know, who's a producer or anything, just would want to just sign just to say they want. But if you talk to a younger Sneed, it would probably been like, yeah, without reading, I would have probably been.
Right.
But now I have a little bit more experience it's just like, all right, hey, what do I want to get from this?
Gotcha.
What do they offer? And what, you know, am I doing? You know, like I say, if it gets to that point, I must be doing. Real. I must be doing enough. So like, hey, what do they offer? What do I offer?
Gotcha.
And does it all make sense in the end? Because you just don't want to be stuck and dry and everything in a situation. But yeah, you know,
gotcha.
That's my answer. Yeah.
What's your favorite genre to produce? Because you're multi-talented. What's your favorite? what makes the most sense, bro? Because your songs actually, and it's crazy. You said, you know, I'm just thinking about it. You said in an interview with Chop, you said, you know, I produce majority in major. You know, like in major keys. Like I like producing happier feeling music.
Right.
What's your, you know, is it R&B, hip hop? Is it gospel? Is it, you know, what is it that you like to take on when someone has an identity? Okay, all right, while I'm on that question. Babyface, you know, he's known for R&B, pop, you know, that genre. Jazzy Pha, hip hop, R&B. Sneed.
I would probably say people always R&B.
Real.
R&B.
Gotcha.
And I think that goes from, which is the irony of that. Like, I never used to like R&B.
Wow.
I never used to like R&B. I felt like it was too emotional. I always felt like it was, but then again, I wasn't tapped into my emotional side during those times. I'm just like, man, nobody want, you know, like, man, nobody. But you know, as you get older, you start realizing, man, I have feelings, and then all the stuff that I'm playing is emotional,
real.
And even what helped with that was again, like Travis Cherry giving me the opportunity. Travis Cherry, you know, he's worked with Jay Holiday, Case.
Wow.
You know, watching him dealt with a lot of R&B, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, this is how you orchestrate it.
Wow.
Oh, this is how you know, and you know, he was always willing to just like, oh, you know, little subtle things that may just seem like little minor.
Gotcha.
But he was like, hey, check this reverb out. We talk plugins and stuff for like hours, and he's like, oh, hey, check this little technique out and everything. And he would even be like, hey, you want to sit at the big kids table? You know, like
real,
like bringing me around other people. And from there, you know, from there, I would say I learned more of the R&B side.
Gotcha.
And you know, I can't miss Chop Diesel.
Chop Diesel. Come
on. Chop Diesel. He also, you know, he made me comfortable enough to understand, like, to mold in. He's like, hey, this is what you do. This is your sound. This is, and he knew that's not where I want this. You know, that's just where I gravitate normally to.
Gotcha.
You know, moving around and being all different places. Okay. I can say that I'm open to, like, hey, when I was in Orlando, I was listening to a lot of pop and EDM.
I was gonna say that, like, because you are a military brat.
Yeah.
You see, like, bro, like, you know, you got the West Coast, you got the Midwest, which is Texas, you got, you know, East Side, which is Virginia, and you got the South Side, Southeast region,
man,
Orlando and Atlanta,
man,
bro. You know,
at
for real, bro. Like, yeah, it's like you, bro. I'm sitting here thinking. I think you even said regarding Pharrell, one of your favorite producers.
Yes.
You even said how the same person could produce Grinding, could produce Happy.
Let that sink in. People, let that sink in. A lot of people don't realize that. Like,
bro,
hey, do you know this guy?
Do you know this guy?
I'm happy, you know.
Come on, bro.
And then all of a sudden, one of the most legendary beats.
Without instrumentation, without just a beat. Bro, like,
I'm like, yo, how can you take that away from?
Come on, bro.
Like, you have a lot of people like just moving around. Like, '05, I moved to Texas.
Got you.
If you think about it, '05, that's when Texas started taking over.
Bro,
That was a great time.
That was a great time.
That was
bro.
Great time for like when you hear a pop wall. Like, I always remember seeing the Still Tipping on Fofos video.
Classic,
before I even moved to Texas. I was like, yo, what is
going
this?
on down there, bro? Yeah,
like, yo, what is this? Like,
wow.
and when I moved down there, it allowed me to be a student without realizing it.
Gotcha.
Because everybody's there, like, what? You don't know who Tum Tum is? Oh, man, you don't know who Pow Wow? You don't know? I'm like, bro, I just came from Virginia right now, man.
Right,
like,
bro,
like, yo, play some Jay, some Fab, or some Jewel, or something. You know, what y'all talking about, man? But it taught me, like, all right, that sound. Mm-hmm. It taught me that. Same way with going to Orlando, it taught me, like, about Deadmau5 and Skrillex. And
gotcha.
I was like, oh, these are different genres and everything. The only genre I would say I haven't really had the opportunity to study is country.
Gotcha.
Country music is still like, I mean, by ear, I'll probably be like, I mean, of course, I'm you can
Texas
tell the elements.
Right, that's right.
But you like, I haven't really sat down and dissected, you know, which is probably a great time because you're starting to see a lot of people.
Come on, bro. We just
doing
saw
a lot of country
music, bro. Like everything is limitless.
Yeah.
Like with you, like you say, you know, like for real, happy and you know, grinding. Like, bro, like you don't have a sound.
Yeah,
and that's important as a producer.
Yeah.
And you know, you mentioned Jazzy Pha being a producer, like from every element, like seeing all this, and you grasping all this, and you're doing everything as well, bro, down to the T.
Man, even Timbaland, like when you look at like, man, he did Icebox, and then all of a sudden you look at him, he did Justin Timberlake, and then you look at like all this, like
Pastor Troy, are we cutting?
It's all around. I'm like, man, what are we talking about?
So
you know,
true, bro.
what are you talking about? So it's. I guess I just didn't want to be put in a box.
Real.
And I guess when you talking about the greats, I see that, they could be great at what they do, but I always wanted to be great all around.
Real.
You know, like hence when you see Quincy Jones, you see like, man, Thriller, you see,
bro,
he made. Man,
come on, Austin Powell, bro.
For Sanford, you know, like.
Don't say that, bro. Don't say that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He made
the theme song.
Oh my God. I never knew that, bro.
Color Purple soundtrack. He scored
like
that. Bro, Quincy's Quincy's the
bro,
dude.
You just put a gem in my. I'm just like, wow.
Watch the documentary. You're gonna.
I
see
will.
It.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. That is great.
That documentary changed my life. You know what? Fun fact.
Wow.
I made after watching that documentary, I made Privacy.
Gotcha.
I remember just sitting there watching. It shows what it takes to be really great, from his sacrifices, from everything. It's just like, man, do you want to be on that type of level? And I just remember being so inspired, where it's just like, and from there, that I would say that's one of the quickest beats I've ever made. And I'm just like, this is something special.
Wow.
And shout out to Alex.
Come on, bro.
She delivered. She delivered. Shout out to Chop Diesel, because even him mixing, and that's another person who, like,
wow.
When you hear it, the sonics, he knew exactly. He's like, I know how this is supposed to feel. I know the dynamics and everything that's going to draw people and from there, I had to be comfortable enough to let go.
So I was just about to say, how do you? Thank you, because that was my next question. How do you, as an engineer, sit back and allow another creative to explore where you're trying to go without limiting what you think is possible?
Just the worst. I mean, in today's we always have Command Z, and to get more discreet. That's undo.
Right. That's right.
That's undo. Right. We always can undo.
Always
like can. We don't. You're more in control of a lot of situations than you realize. Like, we don't have to put it out as is. If we're unhappy with it, we can just go.
Always alter.
Always, hey, no, we're going to do this and do it right. But, Chop, he comes from an era of perfection and of you know, just what's the word I'm looking for? Just expectations.
Yeah.
Where you just like, all right, hey, we're gonna get this right, and he's experienced with it too.
Gotcha.
To understand, like, hey, just we have that we have that relationship where I'm just like, hey, bro, I trust you, you good, and he has that, you know, he trusts me.
Opposite end.
Hey,
Right.
I have everything I need from you, bro.
Real.
I got it from here, and hey, I trust you from that.
Real.
You know? If I don't, we just gonna see where we go
Right.
from there, and
Right.
see if I should trust you or
Wow.
not.
How did you learn? You self-taught, or how did you?
Self-taught, like mostly self-taught. I will say Full Sail definitely teach you more music theory.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
I'm the type of person I'm still like I didn't practice enough
Okay.
to know, like, all right, I mean, I know enough to be like, all right, maybe that's minor, maybe that's all right, diminished, augmented, and
Gotcha.
everything, and trying to dissect it. But reason why I won't say I play because compared to my bro who's also like
Like, he,
dope.
like, right? He been doing this 4 or 5 years old or something.
Yeah, he peeps it.
Gotcha.
My boy Joey Lightfingers, like, he's
Gotcha.
also a great mentor, and
For
he's just
sure.
like, man, like, oh no, you gotta do it, and anything.
Wow, just like
Anything. I'm just like,
Man.
yeah, I can't do that. Like, he even taught me how to do like a glide, a bass guitar glide
gotcha.
on the piano, and
Gotcha.
you would think somebody's there.
Wow.
But yeah, you know, I'm
Wow.
not getting into that. That's
crazy. Wow, Sneed, where do you rate your grind? 1 through 10.
Ooh, man. You know what? I'm gonna give it a good 8.
Real.
I'm gonna give it a good 8. I know I could do a lot more.
Gotcha.
I know I can. I took on a lot of risk, and a lot of times when I don't think I'm doing enough, there are people who show like, man, you're doing it.
Real.
You're doing it. Like, what maybe, I mean, if you really ask me, if you really, honestly, I would probably like downplay it and say like, oh man, probably a 5.
Gotcha.
But I ain't gonna disrespect and
Real.
downplay
Like,
my,
you know, you
like,
putting in work.
I know
Real. That's right.
I know I've done a lot. Like, I didn't do all this work just to be average.
Real, bro. Go ahead. Shh, that was a bar.
You know.
It's a bar. It's a bar, bro. For real.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm just like, man, I didn't do all that, like long walks, and you know, like, hey, I don't care what nobody say, man. It's a painful, it's a painful process right here, man.
You wouldn't want it if
Yeah.
it was easy.
Yeah. Oh man, like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, no, I gotta work. I gotta work hard
yeah,
for this.
this a lot of times this industry that it gets played off like it's a hobby.
Wow.
Like, everybody thinks it's hobby based, but no, it's like this is where we're building. Like, you didn't do all this just for somebody to call it a hobby.
Come on, bro. You're right. You're right. That's real. You're right. You're right, bro. That's real, bro.
Man,
That's real.
So like, I gotta put it like, nah, this is the man's.
That's
hey,
real.
this is what he does.
Real.
Put some respect on it.
Put some respect. Real, Sneed. That's real, bro. What currently drives you? You know, you rate your grind at an 8. What drives you? What keeps you driven?
My family and my dreams.
Come on.
I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for my family.
Real.
You know, and you know, from you know, family's just not, to me, it's just not like, man, like, hey, Alexis, my
Real.
mom, my dad,
That's
you know,
right.
you know, my niece's nephew. Like, it takes a tribe. We're just
Yes, it
not
does, bro.
doing this. I'm not doing this just all for myself.
Real.
If I wanted to do this for myself, I would just duck off.
Right.
You know,
Right.
hey, when
Yeah.
I get off of work, just do it on my
Go
own
ahead,
spare
bro. That's right.
time,
Just-
and just be happy with it. Like, that's why
Real,
a lot
bro.
of people you hear like, man, I just want to do it for the love. No, you don't want to do it for the love. You just need a reason. You just want to make sense why you deserve it more than somebody
Wow.
else. But really, I'd like, hey, my dreams and my family. Every day I feel like I'm learning something new.
Real.
And it keeps me like, you know, it's a
It
bittersweet because it keeps me like wanting to learn more, but at the same time, it keeps me just, you know, it can put me like I don't know nothing, like I know what I know.
Bro, real. No, that's real. Like, bro, like you strike me as the type of guy, you're always learning something, whether it's on TV, whatever it is, like
Always.
that's a basis of who you are. It doesn't have to, it's not a lot of free time. It's like I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm trying to advance. Real.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, like I said, moving around and everything, there's always something to learn from people.
Right,
Like,
that's
hey,
so
I'm
true.
learning. Like you said, you just learned something from me, and I'll
Real.
just learn something from you.
Real.
Like, there's always something that how I enhance. You know, hey, my fiance Lex is always letting me know, like, she's always teaching me something, whether she thinks I'm paying attention,
Right.
or whether I'm not,
Right,
you know,
it's real, bro.
paying attention, you know. But I just try to take those things and figure out how it can be the best person.
That's right.
That I know how to be.
Real.
And it's all going to go into the music.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah.
Dating back a year, what's something you learned about yourself?
Ooh. Something I've learned is like, I should have more confidence in myself.
Gotcha.
To elaborate with that, it's more of just like sometimes I'm just impatient, you know.
Gotcha.
I'm impatient. I always feel like I need to learn something. So sometimes with that, it kind of goes back to like, you feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what I know.
Real.
But it's just like, no, you know what you know. It's just, hey, have the confidence to know, you know, like there's no more I can learn about it.
Gotcha.
But I do feel like, hey, I
do
feel,
know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I hope I make sense.
No, let me ask you this, Sneed. Are you afraid of your greatness?
You know what's crazy? I think I'm coming out of that.
Thank you.
I'm coming out of that. You feel?
I asked that question because I feel the same way about myself.
Yeah.
I'm coming out of it.
Oh man.
Real, Sneed. Real, bro.
Oh man, it's one of those things. Like I remember when my boy, he looked at me like, he looked at me in my eyes. Yeah, you ready? You scared? You scared of greatness? And I'm like, nah, man, but I'm not. You know, not knowing I'm terrified because not knowing like what really, you know, because we define what greatness is.
Right, bro. Right.
I don't know what, you know, when you look at the people who's at the top and everything, then you start realizing, like, can I really handle that? That can kind of intimidate that. But when it's something that's meant for you,
real,
you're like, that's my greatness. Like, yo, hey,
go ahead, bro.
What you doing? Hey, what are we doing? You don't act like you don't.
Yes, bro. Like,
what?
Yes.
Don't act like you don't know, bro.
Like, yeah, and that's the part where, you know, speaking off camera, shout out to Ray Daniels. He was saying, you know, like how we sometimes, in so many words, we're our biggest. You know, we're taught to be humble. We're taught to be, you know, contained within ourselves.
I remember that.
And then it's like, man, like, wait a minute, like, you know, what I'm doing ain't normal. Don't try to minimize what I'm doing. You know, like, cause, you know, I'm just saying, you know, no shade to anything, but I'm saying it's whoever I am. I could be a stalker, but I could be a stalker, and you know, be around, you know, like, But there's also people who are just stalkers who will go home and Al Bundy it. So it's like, don't, you know, I know what I'm working towards. Yeah. You know, and it's like Sneed, you know, Kelly Price, you know, like you, Mason, you know, like all these, you know, like you're in, bro, being around those who are the influencers and those who are financially set, you being in the midst of that, before you know it, that's who you are. And then someone's gonna come up behind you like, this Sneed, like, I'm around, this is who I am, you know, like, like, look at who he is, look at his counterparts, who he came up under. You just constantly, it just keeps on ushering. And it's like now, like, I'm just saying, like, now I'm looking at, like, you know, Sneed is bigging up Quincy Jones. In 40 years, somebody's gonna be like, man, I remember Sneed was bigging up. And that's major, bro. Like, that's major.
Hey, speaking, man, I'm trying to manifest that, man.
Bro, that's real.
And it's real. It's such a true, like we always say, like, man, we try not to be so cliche about it or act like it's not, but those are just the really facts about things. That's like, man, if I can look back and kind of like tell myself, like, you don't realize, like, all this is not for nothing. Like, you probably look back at yourself like, man, would you do it all over again?
Wow.
Would you do it all over again? And I'm just like, all over again. Why? Because all those things, the heartbreaks, those heartbreaks,
Right.
those
bro.
those good moments, that like, because all those things are important.
Real.
All those things. So I mean, not be long winded.
No, bro, that you saying. So while I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about an old Crocodile Dundee commercial, and got a brand new car, brand new truck,
Right?
The truck got a scratch on it. He was like, no, don't worry about it. Gives it character.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything we've been through gives us character. It's like, I took those bumps and bruises. I took that heartbreak. I took that back, all that, the firings, whatever it could be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro. Like,
war scars and
scars,
everything.
bro, that's real, bro. Real.
Man, war scars, man.
Let me ask you this, Sneed. You spoke about what you learned about yourself in the last year. What's something in the last year you learned about those around you?
I've learned that we're all the same.
Real.
I will say it's just like, we all have an end goal. Everybody, I don't think anybody is wanting to do the wrong things,
Right.
We're all in this industry, we're all trying to move the right way, do things the right way, but those around me and everything, I feel like we're all the same, no matter how much like our upbringings are. Like, hey, we all have an end goal.
Real.
And that's really all that matters. Like, no matter what I can do, I can't separate that, because always that's what makes a team.
Right.
Like, yeah, you may have some little side stuff that you want to get.
Right. That's right.
You want to
right.
take care of, but at the end of the day, the end goal, a lot of times, especially when you're around a team,
Right.
we're all the same.
Real.
We just have different ways of handling things.
True.
So,
Real.
I try not to make,
Respect.
we just,
you don't wear your heart in your sleeve.
Yeah.
You just
At least I try
understand
not to.
people. Yeah,
I'm
you
only
understand.
human.
That's real, bro. You understand people.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
Let's take it to the music too, bro. Like what you mentioned, in previous interviews, your Pharrells, your Timberlands, your Jazzy Pha's. Who is that? Now we're going to the artists. What's your top 5?
Whoa.
Doesn't have to be hip hop or R&B. Like just your top 5 artists where you like, okay, I have to produce for this artist.
Man, that was a great one. Oh man. Sheesh.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. It definitely. You know what? It's kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy because like I'm really at that point now where, I mean, earlier I would have, earlier, of course, you got the T-Pains, the Missies, and of course like, but now I'm at the point where I really want to. I feel like I'm more blessed to work with people. The people beside me, like
real.
I realize like how much the experience I get from working with like Big A.
Real. Come on, bro.
I get more experience and more experience and love working with Alexis Renee.
Real. Come on. Come on. Real.
Don't get me wrong. Like, hey, they're set. Like, no offense. Like, hey, if I get to work with these people, it's cool. But I get more excited working with the people, beside me and
Real.
the ones who's trying to uplift me and keep me like up with them, because
Real.
like, I mean, they see the, hey, they see me,
you,
they see
real.
me, and
they recognize you now.
I see them, and that's the thing. I just want to, like, hey, they're great at what they do. Hey, I'm great at what I do.
Real.
Let's all be great together.
Real, bro.
So
Real.
I think, I hope that answers your question.
No, that perfectly answers it for sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: how do you best work? Oh man, before I go there, engineer, production.
Ooh.
Who is Sneed?
Producer first.
Real. And you have to ask that.
Yeah.
For you know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to ask that. Producer first.
Yeah.
Do you have, I'm trying to make sure I get the quote right. Kanye West says, lock me away for the summer. That's a different beat, blah, blah, like Creed Summers, like lock yourself away, do 400 beats in the summer. Do you have like a weekly, monthly quota, or you don't do that anymore?
I think I should have a quota. I think through trials and tribulations, I've been figuring it out.
Gotcha.
I figure I work I work best in person with people.
Gotcha.
Versus, I mean, but that's just how from what I saw, I saw like when, I don't know if you remember this, but like when Ryan Leslie were going, he was on YouTube, like making all the YouTube videos before it was popular, everything.
Before he was popular, or before YouTube was popular?
Before like YouTube,
gotcha.
like
Before
now you see content.
Right.
You see content, people in the studio, but he was one of the few. But I come from what I saw was I saw Pharrell and Neptunes and everybody in the studio. I saw Timbaland in the studio with Jay-Z.
Come on, infamous, bro. Come on, bro.
Yo, I need to be there because that's where chemistry is. Like,
real.
That's where chemistry. And nowadays
you ain't got no bounce. You ain't got no bounce.
Yeah, you ain't got no bounce. You ain't got no bounce. Like, and I'm more of like, real. I need to see the feedback more versus just like
gotcha.
being. So I'm still learning because there's some artists who I come across and they don't want to be part of the creative process.
Gotcha.
And so that was difficult for me to like learn. And I'm just like, oh, what are you talking about? Do I got beats? I want to build this with you.
Right, bro. Like, do you understand? I'm a producer.
Yeah,
bro. Like, you can look at Alexis Renee in the studio, knowing your lady, and be like,
yeah. It wasn't always like that.
Crazy.
It wasn't always like that.
You
like,
can feel her out and be like,
yeah,
that's dope, bro.
It wasn't always like that. Like, and here's the thing: people don't realize, like, when you have to understand that you have to go through some hard truth.
Gotcha.
When we first started working, she was like, "Yo, you got to get quicker.
Gotcha.
You got to get quicker at the process.
Gotcha.
Hey, you got to add some sauce to you got to add some sauce to this. You got to add that." And I remember like during those moments, the truth doesn't always feel good.
Real, bro.
During the moments, she was like, I would remember just like beating myself up because I would spend like hours working on like a mix. I'm like, yeah, there you go. And she's like, yeah. So what'd you do?
Gotcha.
I'm like, well, what do you mean?
Right. I would have got lunch, came back, and got dinner. Real, bro. It's real. Like,
what you mean what I do right then and there? Like, yo, I just mixed this. You don't hear this? But that's their way of just letting you know, like, that's ain't it.
Gotcha.
Ain't it. So you have to go through that. Now we have come to a point where, I don't know, it's like one day it just start, when it starts clicking. People like you, hey, I worked with you this long. I know what you like. Hey, I worked with A long enough to know, like, all right, this is how he likes to work.
Gotcha.
And you just have to like put yourself in different environments. And everything. Yeah.
And that just makes you, like you said, battle tested. Like learn. Like now I got all these I'm learning how to.
Yeah. We still go through it. Because like professionalism.
That's right.
Some people you have to realize in this industry, like you're gonna come across people who is more professional, who's figuring it out, and so
real.
Yes, sir.
In a perfect world, what do you wish you had more time to do?
Perfect world, I feel like I had more time to. Sheesh, man, you on a roll, bro. Like you.
Bro.
And it make more beats.
Real.
Like I can't get enough more ideas out. And it's just like in a perfect world, man, I would just get every idea. I mean, what they say. I don't quote me on the number. I know how many thoughts per second. Everything.
Right.
But like if I can get every idea out, things would be just a lot better.
Is this world your canvas?
Yes.
You see everything like a way to.
Man, it's your playground.
Wow.
I feel like people can. Life is just really what you make it. And like I said, another cliche, but it really is.
It really is, bro.
Once you realize you have all the power to create whatever it is that you want to do, then nobody can control you.
Wow.
And I think that's what everybody is fighting for. It's just like, that's why music and art and different expression is so free, because people get to express themselves and nobody can tell them like, no, that's wrong.
It's wrong.
Because there's no wrong or right thing with art.
So true.
Yes, sir.
Let's take your supporters with you. Music off, drive it down the highway. What's on Sneed's mind?
Music off. What could I be doing more?
Real.
How could I be a better me? Like like I said, like I know I'm very hard on myself.
Gotcha.
Like I'm my biggest critique.
Gotcha.
And it's a bittersweet thing. Hey,
Right,
like,
bro.
bittersweet because it's like,
right,
hey,
man.
nobody. I really don't care what anybody tell me what they think I should be doing. It's
Gotcha.
really about what I think I should be doing.
Real.
And hey, at the end of the day, I'm listening to God. Wherever
Come on,
God
bro.
tells me
That's
where
right.
where I need to be,
That's right.
and if I'm where God needs me to be, then
I'm content.
right.
That's
Hey.
right. I'm right. I'm right where I need to be. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
For sure,
Yes.
bro. For sure.
Yes, sir.
Are you a natural introvert or extrovert?
I want to say both.
That's 4 for 4. This is a new question I asked.
wanna say-
People said both.
I want to say both. I mean, I'm just observant, man. Like
Real.
vibe is everything.
Real.
Vibe is everything
That's
for
right,
me.
that's
Like
right.
if there's very few, like if I don't trust you and everything, and I think that's just because like what I wouldn't say what I saw from intern, but like what I picked up from interning. When
Gotcha.
you're an intern,
Right.
you're to be seen, not heard.
Gotcha.
You sit there, you got no choice but to observe people. You start to see what makes people nervous, where people are insecure about,
Gotcha.
just their personality without anything.
Right.
People don't realize it. That's why I recommend interning to people, because you start to build things. You start to see
Gotcha.
who's really rich, who's really not rich.
Gotcha.
Who's trying.
Wow. No, that makes sense. That does. Gotcha.
Like a
Real.
lot of things. Like, hey man, go, because you start to see people's character. Like, hey man,
Gotcha.
go up to the store, get me a cookie. All right, go upstairs. I'm gonna use my gas. I'm gonna use my gas. I'm gonna get you a cookie. All right, you want your 25 cents back? Got you.
Wow.
That's
Character.
character, everything.
Integrity.
You start to
Wow.
You
You start to
attention.
pay it.
You pay attention to all that. It's important,
Wow.
whether people don't realize it or not.
Do you feel like all these experiences are just building who you're supposed to be in this life?
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. I mean, I used to be upset. I'm like, man, why people,
Right.
why people,
Go ahead, bro. Go
why
ahead.
me? Like, why
Why-
me? Like, you won't try this way, why me? But overall, you start to see, I don't look at it as anybody bullying anymore. It's just like, I get the upper hand because I see you, even if you don't even think.
Gotcha.
I see it.
Real.
So,
Who on earth knows you the best?
my mom.
Real.
Mother's
Real.
love.
Mother's love. That's real,
My
bro.
mother,
That's
my
real.
mother
That's
knows
real.
me. Like,
That's real, bro. That's
she'll
real.
call you and be like, "Hey, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Well,"
Right.
before I even know if something's wrong.
Real, bro. Real. That's real, bro. That's real.
Right.
Man, outside of the music, family, everything. What's that one thing your supporters would be interested to know that you do? Like it could be big bass fishing. I mean, anything. What's that one thing your fans be like, man, ain't no Sneed did that? What's that one thing?
There's a lot of things, man.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of things. If I was to put one, maybe draw.
Gotcha.
Or draw, cook. I mean, I'm just a creative. Like I would say, my mom implanted that in me, that I can do whatever I want.
Real.
And me, I just like to be creative.
Real.
I
That's
like
real.
different creative outputs, and it's just like, oh, I want to cook. I want to do that. And if anybody tells me, yeah, you can't cook, now I'm just fueled by the
really
simple
gonna
fact.
make the best. Real, bro.
Yeah,
Real.
Just because I mean, and it gets me because I know.
Gotcha.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, but I never realized like how therapeutic it is. I'm a creative. I'm a dreamer.
Real, bro.
Yes, sir.
Respect that. Respect that.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Let's talk
Hey.
relationships, man.
Relationships, yes, sir.
Fiance, Alexis Renee.
Yes, sir.
When is that wedding coming?
Hey man, hopefully this year.
Really?
I really
Come
hope
on, man.
so.
That's what's
I mean,
up, y'all. Come on.
we've definitely been in the talks. I've talked to my family,
Right.
her family, everything. I think the only thing we battle with is just timing.
Bro, that's
always-
and no one's rushed. This is y'all life. That's real.
Yeah.
Just timing.
It's just timing because I'm at the I try not to get so caught up in life where I'm just chasing. I want kids. I
Real,
want
bro.
and I never treated her like just a girlfriend.
Real.
I've always treated like I've gone out and about like, hey, let you know my actions, let you know,
Like,
hey, you my
bro.
wife.
Integrity.
Yeah.
Real. That's
Already.
real. That's right.
Hey, drop
bro.
that one
That's
more time.
right.
Yo,
Yeah,
let's get it.
You know it, bro. Man of integrity.
You know,
real,
and,
bro.
and-
Respect that.
And
Respect
I try my
that.
best, bro. I try
That's
my
right.
best just to make sure. And you know, like I know from outside people are like, well, when, you know, like you said, it's always when, but it's just like, no, hey, it's coming. It's
coming.
just hey,
Absolutely, bro.
it's just timing. Hey,
Real.
and you know, and I know I always do my best to make sure she understands that
Right.
and she knows, like, hey,
Real.
I always like, I'm not doing, you know, I'm just doing all the right things.
That's
you know?
right.
You
That's
ain't
right.
gotta worry about me. I'm
Real,
just doing the
bro.
right things, and
Real.
you know, she's doing the right things by me.
That's
you know?
right, bro.
So,
And that's all that matters.
Amen.
That's all that matters. Real, bro. Let me ask you this, man.
Yes,
Time
sir.
or money? Which one means
Time.
more to you?
time.
Real.
Time is the most priceless. Like, that was a no hesitation.
Real.
Like we try to get all this money just to buy time.
Bro, I love this question because as creatives, y'all have 1,000 ways of saying it. 1,000 ways. And I love the way y'all put it.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Bro, it's the same thing. Like, I always remember, like, what do we say? Like, what you always hear people say, like, man, if I just had, they always say it somebody, man, I just need 10 bands, man, I'm good. I'm good. Like, no. Have you ever had 10 bands? No, you're gonna know it. It's gonna go.
That's real.
But really, I get it.
Man,
it's just
real.
they're saying, like, yo, I just need time. Because if anybody who's had a certain significant amount of money,
Right.
you start to realize how much time you have.
Real.
Hey, yo, I don't gotta worry. I can go out eat. I can do this. I can do that. Hey, my family's good. Hey, if you got kids, hey, my kid's good. Everybody's good. But it starts to panic when those funds start to go down.
Real,
and then,
bro.
And then the only reason why, like, when you really sit there, look at people, like, or ask them, it's just like, why you want more money? Well, I don't want to worry. Well, what are you worried? Why are you worried?
Worry. Wow.
Because you don't got time.
Integrity.
So,
Real, bro.
man,
Where do you see yourself in 5 years with this career?
man, sheesh, man, that's an endless, that's
Right.
endless. Because, like, I always see myself, like, man, I see myself, like, from just career wise, like, if you want to talk about career wise, like, man, I see myself being able to go to those, you know, to the grant. I feel
Come on.
I can be able to go into the rooms and, you know, whether it's like Warner or anything, it's just a respect factor, like,
Right.
wherever label, like, there's no
Real.
limitations, like, wherever label, and just be able to create to the upcoming,
Right,
to
there
the
you go.
like, I just want the opportunity, I just want the freedom to, like, hey, I see where y'all going, hey, I want to be part of that. Hey,
Right.
I'll play my role. From a family perspective, relationship, like, hey, I want, you know, hey, I want some twins, you know,
on.
I want
That's real.
some,
That's
some
real,
twins,
bro. That's right.
like,
That's
I
right.
want some, a family, everything.
right.
Hey, I want the big house.
Come
I
on.
want,
That's right.
I want all that. And
That's
so
right.
I do see it. I see it, you know, like, hey, nobody else can see it, you know, but I see it for
Real.
myself.
That's right.
And more, I also see myself just being able to give other people opportunities the same way the people who were before me gave
Absolutely.
me
Right,
opportunities,
bro.
you know,
Right,
because
right.
it's, after a while, when you do it so long, it's like, man, it's just no longer about me, you know, like,
Bro, that's so true.
look at where
So
hip hop
true.
started, bro. Look at where hip hop started. Now it's there, but now it's on us to, like, hey, we got to bring it back.
Real.
We gotta guide this,
That's
because
so true.
if not, then
It'd be all for nothing if
yeah,
not.
it's all for
real.
nothing. You know, we just gotta. This is what's important to us.
That's real,
as a
bro.
culture, not even a culture, but, you know, just, hey, it's hip hop, man.
Real, bro.
Yes, sir.
Real. When it's all said and done, that Dude Sneed,
Yes, sir.
what's your legacy?
I always want to leave a legacy of always just not only trying to do right, just do what is right. Not only to myself, but for others, you know, like, hey, we move in this industry, like, we all know what it takes to get at the top. Now, I don't mind playing the long game.
Real.
I don't mind playing that. Like, I just want, hopefully, I've gave an impact to spark people's mind, or just, like, show, like, hey, you can do it. Because if you look at me, like, man, I didn't, you know, no shame to anybody who, you know, sold drugs or anything. Like, hey, hey, I graduated high school. I went to college. I did everything, and I try to, like, hey, I don't know if I got any OGs, but the people who's, if I do have OGs, like, I'm pretty sure I made them proud.
That's
the people
right,
who's been looking after
right.
me, and hey, I try to do my best to just do things what I perceive as the right way.
The right way.
And, I just, hey, he did his best, He
Real.
did his best, and he did it the right way.
Real.
And I just hope I can leave that. I can leave that and just know, like, hey, y'all can do it too. Like, dreams aren't dead. You ain't gotta slide on the ops. You ain't gotta,
Come on, bro.
You ain't gotta sell drugs. You ain't gotta do it. Like, hey, look, that doesn't make it tough, Just do things right,
Real. And my next question was gonna be,
Yes, sir.
what advice would you give to the really young 13-year-old producer? The guy watching this right now, like, what advice would you give to him? The younger crowd that's out here, what's that advice you would give to him, moving forward in his career? Like, watching you, like, wow, like, with all the accomplishments you've had, what would you give to him or her?
Just don't be afraid to be yourself. I know it sounds cliche, but hey, we don't need a new... Drake is who he is because he's Drake.
Real.
You are who you are because you stay true to who you are.
Real.
Me, nobody else. I'm only one-on-one. But just
Real.
people don't need another Sneed.
Real.
People need another, whoever they are,
Right.
they need another you.
That's right.
Just stick to your morals.
Real.
Be true to you. And everything's you're gonna be okay.
Real.
Trust me on that.
Respect.
Keep God first.
That's right, bro. Respect.
Oh, man.
With $50 million in your bank account tomorrow morning, what changes about that Dude Sneed?
Nothing.
Real.
Nothing. Like, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Just confidence. I'm gonna take that back. A little more confidence. But, you said 50. All right, you didn't say $1 million. You said 50 million. I'm like, all right, no, look here, man. Like, I would say a little bit more, but I believe that my heart, hey, I feel like I've given the most when I didn't have it.
Real.
So
It was a bar.
why? Just imagine what I could do when I do have it.
Real, bro.
So
real.
Yeah.
That's real, bro. Respect
That's
that.
just- yeah,
Respect
you know.
that. Respect that.
Man, 50 million,
Bro.
Manifest that.
Come on, bro.
Manifest
Real.
that, right? 50
Ask it
million.
every interview. Ask every interview. It's real, bro.
That's a lot.
Real.
Yeah.
Y'all creators are the ones who can get there.
I'll put that
That's
on my
just
list.
real, bro. Real, bro. For real. For real. That Dude Sneed.
Yes,
It is
sir.
tradition on the integrity response. If you can reach into that bowl,
Amen.
grab one fortune cookie. And
See
if you
which-
can open it,
See which one's
That's
speaking
it.
to me.
come on now. You know it. If you can open it, read it for your supporters, just like that, man. We out of here.
Yeah, here, man.
Yes, sir.
A smooth, long journey. Great expectations.
Real.
Amen.
You was speaking on
Already.
that, bro. You just speaking on dog, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah,
I'm in it for the
yeah.
ink, bro.
This people don't realize. It's like, look here, man, you can get it overnight. Hey, I think we've seen it. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. We've all
Absolutely.
seen it, man. But where's the fun in that, man?
Real.
This is the journey. Like, I like right now, like, hey, I still got a long way to go.
That's right.
I have a journey. This is my story.
It's real.
But this ain't it for me.
Real. Bar.
Yes, sir.
Come on, bro.
Amen.
That Dude Sneed,
Yes, sir.
2024. Y'all be on the lookout for everything he's already done, everything he's doing, everything he's about to do. That Dude Sneed, mixing engineer, record producer. Please stay tuned.
Yes,
This
sir.
guy is the future. This guy is the now.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else for him before we get out of
man.
here?
And before I leave, I just want to say, man, yo, thank you for having me, man.
Respect, bro. Always.
I just want to say, like, I've seen, like, what was it? December?
December. Yes, sir.
It's amazing where we're in April now. From last
Yes.
December, it's amazing what can change when we was just talking about what like, man, what you wanted it to be, and now it's that tenfold.
Wow.
And I just want to give you your flowers, man. Like,
Respect, bro.
you're on the grind, you're on it,
Respect, bro.
and man, like I said, I'm always rooting for the underdogs.
Man, we know we the underdogs, bro. You know it. That's right,
man.
bro.
And
That's right.
I just want to, like, man, it's definitely inspiration, man.
Respect,
and
bro.
so, man, I just want to
Respect,
tip my
man.
hat off to
Appreciate
you,
that,
bro.
Appreciate
and,
that.
thank you again for having me, man.
Salute, bro.
Yo.
From one military brat to another.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I appreciate you, man.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
behind everything you're doing, bro. For real.
Man,
For
I
real.
appreciate it, man.
We on the way.
Hey,
you know us, you know
yeah,
it, bro.
already. You already know,
Salute,
man.
Bro.
Y'all stay
Salute.
tuned, man.
You know it.
Let's
you know
get
it.
it.
2024, that Dude Sneed.
Yes, sir.
We out of here.